everybody, this is lesson 10. So we're going to start out playing our violins, and it's going to be all about ostinato. So we've already introduced that term and they know what it is, but we're going to create some ostinato. So we're going to create some ostinati, I can tell them what the plural is of ostinato, right? Using only a 2-beat pattern. So if we're using tas and titis and we have only 2 beats, how many choices are there? So they can probably figure that out, and I'm going to get them on the board. Like so. Okay, so we've got a ta, we got a tt. There's one pattern, right? Here's another one, t t t t, right? And here is another one, t t ta. And then of course we've got ta ta. So there's actually 4 rhythmic possibilities, but as far as how we play those, we can do them on all open strings. So we can do like this. Or we can leave it on one string. Actually, we should do a short and a smooth, like we've been doing. Short, smooth. Or we could use harmonics. Or we could do it. So what I'm going to invite the kids to do is each one of them figure out an ostinato of their choice. And so we're going to invent that. And so we're going to try out your ostinato. Then I'm going to have the class, I'm going to divide the class in half. So half of them will play the Rocky Mountain open string while I am at the keyboard or at the violin. I could do either one, playing the melody of Rocky Mountain, and the other half is playing the ostinato. And then we'll kind of switch off, and then this half will play the open string accompaniment for Rocky Mountain while another half plays an ostinato. So you can make this a creative experience as well as one where the children are they're learning how to play together and in 2 parts. And they know ostinato as a form of music. So after we've done Rocky Mountain, we're going to kind of do the same thing with Jingle Bells. So hopefully they've been working on this at home, so when they come to class, they already know how to play the open string duet part. But if not, you're going to practice it here. This is the time for practicing. And the perfect way to practice this is with the ostinato. So we can use the same idea, and what I would do is I would bring out some bells. So I have 2 possibilities. I don't know if you're as fortunate as I am, but I have some really authentic horse harness sleigh bells. So it's really cool. But you know what? You don't have to have this to do. This has got to be at least 100 years old to do this activity. So what I will have them do is I'll have them hold it, and then they'll just kind of knock their fist. So here's a ta. Okay. So there's that ostinato. And you can just use the same one if it's less complicated. You don't have to be maybe necessarily so creative, especially since it's a little bit harder to manipulate that. Or, do it however you want, which seems most appropriate for the level of your kids. Or you could use, here's one. Better if they hit something, then it makes the rhythm more accurate, rather than just shake it. Okay, there's one possibility. Here's another one. They all work for Jingle Bells. Right, so the cool thing is if you have a class of 6 or 7 or 8 or even 3, well, every child gets an opportunity to do the bells ostinato while everybody else is playing the open string duet, and meanwhile you're playing the melody at the keyboard or on your violin. So you've actually got 3 things going on at the same time. And if you give every child an opportunity to be the solo bells, that means they get to practice it that many times. And by the time we're done with the last one, they really know that duet part. So it works out very cool, and they know this very well for the season. And that usually takes up my violin time for that lesson. So they're going to pack up, put their violins away, and we're going to do our singing time next. And for singing now, I'm going to have them come and sit in front of the board, and we are going to have a little flashcard review. So remember, you actually have these rhythm flashcards in your teacher's manual, And what we're going to do, since they know now about twos or half notes, I'm going to mix these in. Right? I'm going to mix these in so that we're going to do rhythm flashcards as a class at first, saying them, and then probably what I usually do is I have them show the beat on their knees or on their leg when they're sitting there, and then say the rhythm. And then we'll probably run through it again, and we'll do solos. So sometimes we call it computer flashcards if we try to keep the beat going. If they're ready for that, fine. If they're not, then just do the rhythm and then stop and then do the next rhythm. But computer flashcards means that you have to be really good at flipping down the flashcard ahead of time, so it teaches them to read ahead. So they have to look at it and then come in. So that is the next level of being able to read and read before they're actually tapping. Okay. All right. So there's some rhythm flashcards. I've got down here all of them say all of the flashcards, and then they tap all. So you can say the rhythm, you can tap the rhythm, and then solo call out here means I'm going to ask so-and-so to say this rhythm. That wouldn't be computer flashcards. But you could do computer flashcards by just going in order so that the next person is ready for the next card. It's a little harder, but it's good to keep upping the challenge level for them. Okay, well, we're done with that. The next activity is Mouse Mousey. So we played that game last time, and so they know that song. So I'm going to have them be standing up in their circle, and we're going to sing the song. Mouse Mousey in the housey, hurry, hurry do, or the kitty in the housey will be chasing you or catching you, whichever you like. So I'm going to remember, boys and girls, that we put frog on our bodies. How about if we try Mouse Mousey? How would that look if I put my so on my shoulders, so me, and we already discovered the do on at their feet with the frog song, with frog in the middle, right? So they should be able to figure it out, but you have to be kind of slow because, this is, it takes some thinking. So, mi, do, so, mi, do, and so on. So they're going to show that with their body levels. And then I'll ask, anybody feel like they can do that by themselves? Is anybody who's got courage and wants to? He's going to do it, show it. And it's very often I find out that most of the children will want to have their turn. So that's pretty cool. And so then how would we show that with hand signs? So they've just been learning that, right? So mi do, so mi do, and so on. So they're going to show Mouse Mousey with their hand signs. Invite solos to do the same. And then we're going to look at the board. So how are we going to, let's get rid of our ostinato stuff here. We are going to, here's our so, and here's our mi, and here's our do. Usually we'll use a small letter D. It looks like a half note, I know, but usually we use small letters for solfa and uppercase for addresses. So that's one to be. Although if it's confusing to you or whatever, we could, for right now, since we haven't done addresses yet, you could do that. Whichever seems right to you. All right, so now they're sitting facing the board, and I'm going to show that. So then I'll just point to the tone ladder, and then we'll sing it again. So they get used to singing from the tone ladder. So, mi, do, so, mi, do, so, do, do. Then I'll invite some solos from the class to do the same thing I just did. So they're going to point to the notes on the tone ladder to do that. So now this is going to set me up for making conscious the next element that they're going to learn today. And so I am going to introduce a new rote song by telling them there is a song that is sung by the flowers. I just happen to have some props here. I mean, you don't have to, but it's kind of cool. And we're going to talk about the flowers. They're kind of springtime flowers. Oops, here we go. Anyway, just to kind of get their attention. So this is a song that is sung by the flowers, and I'm going to sing it to you, and then I want you to tell me what you think the flowers are saying. So it goes like this. Let's put these right here. Rain, come wet me, sun, come dry me, keep away everyone, don't come near me. What do you think the flowers are trying to say? Well, flowers really do like the sun, right? And they like the rain. So, rain, come wet me, sun, come dry me. This is all stuff that the flowers need. And why would they say, keep away everyone? Well, pretty much they want to stay in the garden, not get picked. And so we're going to have that little bit of a discussion so that they get the idea that this is a song that might be sung by the flowers. And then I'll introduce it phrase by phrase. The children I'll sing, rain come wet me, rain come wet me, sun come dry me, sun come dry me. So we'll finish it phrase by phrase. We'll sing the entire song afterwards, after that. And then I might test them out to see how well they know the song. Since there's not really a game attached to it, they're just learning it. In round robin phrases. So round robin means that you might start here on the left or right, doesn't really matter, and then the children in order will sing a phrase. So and so will sing, rain come wet me, come dry me. So each one will take a turn. That's what round robin means, is that there are solos being sung by the children in an order, which is not too confusing. And then, so boys and girls, do you think that you could show me this song on your body? Just like we did Mouse Mousey. So think about where those sounds are. So we'll try that. So I'm going to tell this starts with a so. And we're just going to go, we'll do words first. Rain come wet me. And we're all going to discover together here that there is a sound that is between my waist and my feet. So we'll try the body levels. And then we're going to figure out, let me see what I put there, that there is a sound right here on the tone ladder that they haven't learned yet. So now let's sing the rain song with, when we get to the question mark, we're just going to hum it. So, mi, do, so, mi, do, so, mi, so, mi, so, mi, do. Well, boys and girls, that note that we haven't learned yet, that we just hummed, is re. So I will usually make re with a small, so I'm going to change this to make these lowercase letters. Okay, that looks better. So, mi, re, do, so, mi, re, do, so, mi, so, mi, so, mi, re, do. And the hand sign for re is this. So here we go. So, mi, re. It's got kind of a tilted, kind of like a stairway right here. And then here's our do. It's kind of like a basement. Wall, floor, stairs, basement. And one of the reasons I think that the re is sounded like this is because that tends to be sung flat. So we want to always be aware of that tendency when the children are singing it and model it for them in tune. So, mi, re, not re, or something, that's not in tune. And then also I work with them and tell them the way we sing Ray, instead of singing it with an American R, which is in the back of the mouth back here with a Ray, I'm going to teach them to sing it with a Latin R, which is more like a D. They're going to sing it Ray, Ray. So we're going to practice singing with a Latin R, and sometimes I do this in their private lesson if they're, where we can kind of hear how that's coming. So try it with the Latin R. It's actually pretty, not so hard for them. They learn how to do it. And it sounds very much more musical, and it stays out in the front of the mouth, just behind their teeth, just like the other sounds do. So, sol, mi, re, and they learn how to sing Ray. Ray, I can say Ray with a good old American R, but I'm going to sing it with a Latin R. Okay? All right, so we've just made Ray conscious, and so now that we've done that, we get to do exciting things on the violin. So what we're going to learn very shortly is how to play that on the violin. Okay, so on the calendar, it's somewhere around Thanksgiving time. So we're past Halloween maybe, so we're looking for something that we could sing at Thanksgiving, and we also are preparing an element that's going to be coming up later, and that is shoe turkey. And so I can sing this song for you. I don't really have to have children to demonstrate it, but they're going to be in a circle around you, but you're the teacher who's going to be doing the singing first. And all the children have to sing is, yes, ma'am. So we're going to practice that. Yeah, yes, ma'am, ready, and
yes, ma'am.
I got a helper here to help me with singing that part of it. And you know what? The kids can do any kind of a gesture they want to, if they want to, or usually they just kind of move their bodies like, yes, ma'am, maybe a little swivel, yes, ma'am. It's just so they kind of get into it. But, so here we go. And when we come to the end, on the shoe turkey part, we're going to be using that as a new element. But, so here we go with shoe turkey. Boys and girls,
yes, ma'am.
Did you go to the barn?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see my turkeys?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you feed my turkeys?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get any eggs?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you take them home?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you give them to your mama?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you put them in the bread?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she give you some?
Yes, ma'am.
Was the bread good?
Yes, ma'am.
Are my turkeys gone?
Yes, ma'am.
Which way did they go?
So.
Which way did they go?
So.
Will you help me find them?
Yes, ma'am.
Get ready, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now the children, they kind of make their wings out here, and they now can leave the circle, and they're going to do shoot turkey, shoot, shoot with a little hop. Shoot turkey, shoot, shoot, shoot turkey, shoot, shoot, shoot turkey, shoot, shoot. And so as they do that, you kind of give them instructions on they can sing. They can do shoot turkey, shoot, shoot low or up high, or towards the chair. They can do it. They can do it. Whatever instruction you give them, and then the game is over. And if you do it several times, you might have a person. It would take a few times for the kids to remember it. But those who want to sing along, they can do that and be the solo caller. But you're just really trying to get them to do the ending with the shoot turkey shoot, and it's very important for the beat feeling for them to flap their wings like that. As we come into it and learn that element, that's what we're after. The game is fun because it's about turkeys and Thanksgiving, and if you mess up, which I have done, a lot of times, or if you leave out some of those words, it's not a big deal. Just keep going. It's just fun for everybody. Okay, that's it.